Hi, welcome to Cherie's Weight Loss Journey. Today we're going to talk about the way that you petition which is taking your burdens to the Lord and leaving them there. And it's through a petition. Hold on. Okay, so how is it that you make a petition? You petition a violation that was done against you. Like, say for instance, you confront your boyfriend that you think he's cheating. Okay? And of course, he's going to deny it. And he's going to put a petition in there, talking about how he loves you, how he doesn't want you to leave him, yay, yay, yay. Okay? That's going to be his petition, right? He's going to immediately begin his petition against you, right? It's going to be against you, but it's going to look like it's to keep you guys together, okay? So you would petition them to say, okay, you confronted your boyfriend, you believe he was cheating, he got mad at you, and let's just say he choked you. He choked you because he didn't want you saying what you're going to say. Realize that most men never want you to verbalize, even in your head, the violations that they had committed against you. This is how men have been able to get away with such atrocities all of these years, because they have put fear into women to never say anything bad against them. Not even in the privacy of their prayers. Not even in the deepest thought of their minds. And when we listen to women, always blame themselves. Oh, well, maybe I wasn't a good enough woman. Maybe I never should have told him I thought he cheated. Maybe he was right to choke me out, because he is a man, and if nothing else, he's stronger than me, and I took a chance. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. That is not a petition of violation. You couldn't even take that to court, to 3D court, and win with that kind of offense. You couldn't. So the way that you make your petition is you cite the violation against you. You cite how it made you feel. You cite what you did to try to negotiate or come to clarification of the matter. And then you cite what they did. And then you say, with your magical being, with your magical essence, that this is your petition that you're going to send either to spiritual court or to the spiritual high court. Now, first you want to send it to the spiritual court, unless the violation is really big, right? I would never send a petition of like child molestation into regular spiritual court. That's going to go to the supreme spiritual court, right? And if somebody is a terrorist, I would send that up to the supreme celestial court. Okay? That's how it works. The spiritual court is just above our earthly court, right? And you have your regular court, and then you have your supreme spiritual court. However, if for instance the spiritual court is in derelict of their duties, then you take it to the celestial court. And even the celestial court has a supreme celestial court. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you don't believe in none of this stuff, chances are you're going to get victimized. And you're going to say your prayers. Of course you're going to say your prayers. But let me tell you something. Prayers are good, right? Prayers are like manifestation without works. Okay? You can pray day and night, right? But everything has to have intentions. Okay? You've got to have intentions behind your prayers. And you need to know that when you are saying your prayer. And then you have to know, do you put your prayers in the suggestion box? Or do you put your prayers in the court box? Into the court dockets? For a hearing? This is the stuff that you have to know. And once you do this, you will see how your position changes. Your position will definitely change based off of not only saying your prayer properly, but also putting your prayers and submitting it to the right department. And this will help you in real life too, in the 3D world. This will help you in the 3D world to start seeing things in terms of yourself as a valuable, sovereign entity of value, and that you're not going to just let anybody devalue you and take advantage of you or exploit you. Do you understand? So when we talk about universal laws, you have to understand what exactly that means. That there is a law, a legal, a judicial system that you need to know about. And no, you weren't taught that. Why would they teach you that? You're talking about the same people that didn't even want you to read and write or get out the house? Why did they feel like they had to approve of the degree that you were going for? Because most universities teach spirituality. That's why they felt like they had to approve of your selection of the degree that you were going to study. Now, I don't know how they did this, but they seemed like they were able to do it, where they separated psychology and sociology from spirituality. I don't know how they did that. But you best believe in some of the better schools, they combine it together. And they probably even use psychological and sociological terms, even when speaking about theology. Now, I felt like it was very important, to get this message out, because if we talk about universal law and you're still hoping, wishing, and praying, and you're not connecting the dots that there's a judicial system that controls the universe, even if you say you don't believe in God, okay, there's still a judicial system. Just like you don't have to believe in God in the 3D, and they have to go to criminal court or the civil court. telling you is about the things that is unseen that they've been telling you not to pay attention to because you can't see it, right? Such as, he's cheating or he's lying. Oh, you can't prove it, therefore you didn't see it. Okay? I'm tying the dots together for you. Right? That's the difference between somebody being taken advantage of and somebody, being powerful in spirit. And they purposely refuse to teach women about the legal system. Instead, they just want to tell women, well, don't do anything wrong. Just do what you're told. Just be obedient. You don't have nothing to worry about. If I am wrong, then please put it in the comments below that I am wrong. Okay? And you have to understand, when I was a kid, and I was asked what I wanted to be when I grow up, I said I wanted to be president. And oh my God, it was like I had said blasphemy. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with me being president? They're like, no, and my brother, he got all snide and stuff talking about they don't let girls be presidents, right? And then after he said that, I guess, my mother took it a step further and said, oh, well, you'll be lucky if you don't wind up being on welfare in the projects. And I looked at her, and I don't know why she said it, if it was said to be a warning or if it was said to be a curse. But let me tell you something, just about everything that comes out of our mouths ends up being spell word, right? It's either to curse you or to, teach you a lesson, to give you a lesson. Sometimes, on rare occasions, it is actually to uplift you. We want to say that lessons are to uplift you. We want to say that, right? I mean, just think about this. If you're a person that studies criminal law or administration of criminal justice or actual the judicial system or even the political system, your thought patterns are different. The way that you think are different than the average person. The average person is out here, with fragmented thoughts that, vocalize feelings. They never really, explain the whole purpose of their statements, or they can't even really, articulate their message very well. However, you don't have to have you don't have to articulate yourself to know that every statement and every message that comes out of your mouth has to have an intention. Right? Now, in the case scenario that I had given you, where the woman was asking, she wasn't accusing him, she was asking him, Now, you know, men automatically accuse women. They accuse you and then make you be defensive. Whereas women, we never hardly ever accuse them, even when we see that they're doing wrong. Because we're afraid of retaliation, right? That's because we're not strong in spirit. Okay, if we were strong in spirit, we would accuse them. I believe you're cheating on me. I mean, there's a way that you can say it. I believe you are cheating me. Or I feel like you cheated on me. See, that's an accusation disguised as an emotion. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? As opposed to me going up to them, are you cheating on me? That's just a question. And what do you think they're going to say? Yes? No, they're going to ask you, what makes you say that? Why do you think I'm cheating on you? Have I been leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for you to follow? And you best believe, when I get in my accusatory mode, I immediately, when you hear me say, I feel like I'm letting them know I'm accusing you. This is how I feel. And you ain't going to tell me how I'm feeling. Ain't nothing you can tell me going to change how I feel. You can try. So the format would go, I feel that you blank, blank, blank. It hurt me when you did blank, blank, blank. And you responded with blank, blank, blank. Therefore, now I have to send a petition into spiritual court so that I can unburden myself. Right? You were the one violated. You were victimized some kind of way. And when you bring it to spiritual court in this fashion, you can then think about that song, take your burdens to the Lord and leave it there. That's how you take it, right? And once you leave it there, you want a judgment. You want justice. You want not only to be burden free, right? But you want to put it in the hands of spiritual law to take care of the matter. And this is what men don't want you to know, because they spend a lot of time accusing you. They spend a lot of time putting you down. They spend a lot of time making sure that whatever you did always causes them to do things to hurt you. So you can ask them, right? Or you could tell them, well, I feel like you cheating on me. Are you cheating on me? You know, and leave it there with them, that particular part of it. But then when you go into your, when you go into your prayer, make sure that, you want that violation put on their spiritual resume. If it's found that, what you were feeling is true. Because in spirit, these people will get, the angels, inquiry mentally, and they won't even understand why they're making these answers, why they're even talking about, a situation that just happened last night. But that's spirit. And a lot of women don't feel these things because, hey, we've been taught to be obedient. We've been taught, to be submissive. We've been taught that, we barely even have any rights. But you have a right. You have the right to protect yourself. You have the right to protect your interest. And you have the right to voice your intentions. And this is what I wanted to let women know on how to lead that burden, drop those burdens, because once you give them one burden like this, you start suspecting that they're a cheater, they're going to give you about 10 different burdens back on you. Maybe 9. All you'll want to do is lay down. You feel so burdened, you want to just lay down. They don't feel that way. Why? Because you've never accused them. You asked them a question. And just because you might really strongly feel that this is true, you still never accused them. You never put it on their spiritual resume. You never put it on a petition and sent it up to universal court. And then, if you're a Christian, you can ask the Lord Jesus Christ to represent you in court.